If you are standing at the edge of a multi-wheel leaning machine, I need you to pause right now and listen very carefully. One of these two machines is a legitimate touring-grade engineering triumph designed to conquer thousands of highway miles without breaking a sweat, while the other is an urban compromise dressed up in Maxi scooter bodywork that will punish you with brutal depreciation and highway exhaustion if you buy it for the wrong mission. Today, we are putting the KYMCO CV3 550 and the Yamaha Tricity 300 under the engineering microscope to expose where corporate cost-cutting lives, where real mechanical integrity shines, and how your wallet will feel 3 years down the road. Let us tear down the structural backbone of these machines first. For the KYMCO CV3, the numbers tell a distinct story. An aluminum perimeter frame, a wheelbase measuring 1,580 millimeters, a seat height of 795 millimeters, a wet curb weight sitting right at 282 kilograms, and a front steering geometry featuring an engineered 25-degree rake with 105 millimeters of trail. When you examine the CV3's aluminum chassis, you see high-pressure die-cast sections mated to extruded spars with exceptionally clean robotic welds. KYMCO anchored the engine solidly inside the frame like a true motorcycle rather than swinging it on the suspension, achieving near 50-50 weight distribution that eliminates frame flex when carving through aggressive sweepers. Now look at the Yamaha Tricity 300. The raw figures: a tubular steel underbone frame, a 1,595 millimeter wheelbase, a tall 795 millimeter seat height, a significantly lighter wet weight of 239 kilograms, and an aggressive urban steering rake of 20 degrees with 74 millimeters of trail. Yamaha chose a traditional welded tubular steel cradle. While lighter and cheaper to manufacture, that steel underbone relies on structural gussets near the headstock to manage lateral torque from the leaning multi-wheel mechanism. At low urban speeds between 15 and 30 miles per hour, Yamaha's geometry makes the Tricity feel feather-light and effortless to weave through gridlock. But the moment you push past 70 miles per hour across broken interstate expansion joints, the torsional flex in that steel chassis becomes apparent, while KYMCO's rigid aluminum skeleton remains completely unbothered. Moving directly inside the engine crankcases, the power plants represent two completely different mechanical universes. The KYMCO CV3 550 delivers raw powertrain figures of 550.4 cubic centimeters from an inline twin-cylinder architecture, producing 51 horsepower at 7,500 RPM, 53 newton-meters of peak torque at 5,750 RPM, a 10.5-to-1 compression ratio, and a double overhead camshaft valve train driving 4 valves per cylinder. KYMCO engineered this twin with a 270-degree cross-plane style crankshaft firing interval, paired with dual counter-rotating balance shafts. This layout delivers deep, linear torque pulses without high-frequency harmonic vibration. By separating the transmission from the engine block and driving the rear wheel through an exposed belt, thermal buildup remains isolated from the crankcase oil supply, ensuring long-term thermal stability during sustained high-speed mountain climbs. Turning to the Yamaha Tricity 300, its powertrain specifications read a 292 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled single-cylinder blue core engine generating 28 horsepower at 7,250 RPM, 29 newton-meters of torque at 5,750 RPM, a 10.9-to-1 compression ratio, and a single overhead camshaft 4-valve head. Yamaha's engineering genius here centers on internal friction reduction. You get an offset cylinder design, a forged aluminum piston running inside a diacyl silicon aluminum bore, and roller rocker arms. It is an exceptionally efficient motor for stop-and-go commuting, sipping fuel while running whisper quiet. However, physics cannot be cheated. Asking a 28-horsepower single to push 239 kilograms of bike plus rider against aerodynamic drag at 75 miles per hour forces the continuous variable transmission to hold high RPMs constantly, turning highway cruising into a buzzy, strained chore compared to the relaxed, effortless lope of KYMCO's twin. When we inspect the suspension kinematics and braking systems, the differences become stark. The KYMCO CV3 utilizes twin inverted telescopic forks on each front wheel with 41mm stanchions and 110mm of stroke, an offset horizontal rear monoshock with preload adjustability, twin 250mm front discs clamped by radial mount 4-piston calipers, and a single 260mm rear disc. KYMCO's dual strut per-wheel front suspension architecture creates massive structural stiffness under heavy threshold braking. Because the suspension valving separates damping forces across independent internal cartridges, front-end dive is mechanically controlled. When you haul down hard from triple-digit speeds, the chassis remains flat, tracking over mid-corner asphalt heaves without compressing the internal bump stops. Switching over to the Yamaha Tricity 300, the hardware specifications consist of Yamaha's proprietary leaning multi-wheel linkage system using dual telescopic fork legs on each side with 33mm stanchions offering 100mm of travel, twin rear shock absorbers with 5-stage spring preload adjustment, and 267mm hydraulic discs front and rear with standard unified braking. Yamaha's cantilever link system utilizes an Ackermann steering geometry that mechanically ensures both front contact patches track perfectly concentric arcs through corners. Over rain-slicked cobblestones and rutted city streets, the Tricity's front end is virtually uncrashable, soaking up sharp vertical impacts with supple, low-speed compliance. But during aggressive, panic-level emergency stops, the smaller 33mm fork tubes exhibit noticeable dynamic deflection, triggering ABS pulses earlier than KYMCO's ultra-rigid radial brake setup.
Let us step back and examine the electrical architecture and cockpit ergonomics. On the KYMCO CV3 550, you are greeted by a 6-inch full-color TFT display featuring KYMCO's Nudu navigation connectivity, dual selectable riding modes including rain and power, standard electronic cruise control, heated grips, keyless ignition, and automotive-grade waterproof switchgear clusters with a dedicated tilt-lock toggle. KYMCO routed the primary wiring harnesses through heavy-gauge rubberized conduits along the aluminum chassis rails, protecting the CAN-bus communication network from vibration and water intrusion. However, the user interface logic on the Nudu dashboard requires a steep learning curve, demanding multiple thumb clicks on the right handlebar cluster just to adjust basic telemetry screens. The Yamaha Tricity 300 counters with a dedicated high-contrast monochrome LCD screen, standard traction control, Yamaha's standing assist electronic tilt lock system, smart key keyless ignition, and minimalist standardized handlebar switchgear without complex menus. Yamaha chose absolute simplicity over digital flash. The electrical harnesses are cleanly tucked behind molded ABS plastic fairings, and the monochrome display is instantly readable under direct noon sunlight with zero glare issues. While you sacrifice cruise control and navigation screens, Yamaha's standing assist actuator logic is smoother and more intuitive to engage at red lights than KYMCO's stiffer mechanical lock, reducing rider cognitive friction during exhausting daily commutes. Now, we must talk about the brutal realities of service access, maintenance costs, and total cost of ownership. For the KYMCO CV3 550, the baseline figures stand at minor oil service intervals every 5,000 kilometers, valve clearance inspections at 20,000 kilometers, a 2-year factory warranty, and a premium base MSRP near $13,000. The Tricity 300 establishes its baseline with 10,000-kilometer oil service intervals, valve adjustments spaced out to 20,000 kilometers, a 2-year unlimited mileage warranty, and an accessible base MSRP around $8,500. When you strip down the fairings for routine servicing, the CV3's complex twin-cylinder layout and perimeter chassis mean basic spark plug or valve checks require substantial labor hours, driving up dealer service bills. Furthermore, third-party aftermarket support for KYMCO remains narrow, meaning replacement body panels and proprietary front suspension seals carry long shipping lead times and steeper 3-year depreciation curves.
Conversely, the Tricity 300 shares its proven blue-core engine internals directly with the global Yamaha X-Max 300. Oil filters, drive belts, and clutch rollers are dirt cheap, readily available on dealer shelves worldwide, and simple enough for any home mechanic to service, cementing rock-solid resale value on the secondary market. This brings us to our definitive engineering verdict. If your daily riding involves long-distance touring, high-speed motorway commutes over 70 miles per hour, and winding mountain passes where structural rigidity, twin-cylinder power, and radial braking authority matter, buy the KYMCO CV3 550 because its underlying aluminum motorcycle chassis and parallel twin engine are engineered specifically to carry that dynamic load without breaking a sweat. But if your riding lives strictly inside the metropolitan grid, navigating dense urban traffic, split lanes, wet commuter rail tracks, and short suburban ring roads, buying the CV3 550 is a massive engineering mismatch that will waste thousands of dollars on unneeded weight, heavy fuel consumption, and higher dealer maintenance costs. For that commuter reality, the Yamaha Tricity 300 is the objectively smarter, lower stress, and more cost-effective tool. Invest your money into the machine that solves your actual physical use case rather than paying for engineering you will never stress. If you appreciate uncompromising, deep-dive mechanical teardowns that protect your wallet before you sign on the dotted line, consider subscribing to the channel. Ride safe, and thank you for watching.